I used to be the guy that was trying to be too understanding for people who weren't deserving of my point of view. See, nobody cares about you the way you think they do. And for the longest time, I really thought that people would reciprocate, or they actually cared and thought about me as much as I, thought about them. Okay. And so I found out that uh not recently, but in the recent, I would say the past year or so, I've begun to practice living my life without dimming to make people feel comfortable. Now, in order to do this with people in my family, what I've had to do is I've had to pretty much play along with whatever's going on in order to keep the peace while telling myself that later this will pay off. Later in the future, when I'm not around my family, this is going to pay off because when I no longer am around them anymore, when I leave them, okay, so to speak, um, they're, I don't want to leave them on bad terms, but at the same time, my peace is a very important and my peace is everything. So keeping the peace is important up to a certain point, okay, as I found out. And so it's either am I going to be at home with all this tension, which I can carry tension, that's not a problem, but when it's your own family who you're living 24/7, can I carry that tension with them when this tension can be avoided by simply by basically acting like a fool to fool the fool, playing at their level, okay? And so I have changed a lot. Looking back, I'm not the same guy that I was. I'm not the same man that I was, and that's a good thing. So, in order for yourself to be reborn, the old you has to die. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. And this death is not comfortable. It could be. I've already had an ego death, but you could have an ego death and then slowly rebuild your ego back up to the new identity that you are. And when I say new identity, I don't mean your name or your gender or anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say new identity, I'm talking about more born again, as in, yeah, spiritually born again, the spirit, like Jesus said, of course. Okay, born again. But I'm talking more about born again, as in yourself, who you are as a man or a woman. Okay, born again, as in you're no longer playing the role. You refuse to play the role. Uh, you refuse to play the role for other people that in order for you to survive. Okay, that's what I have done. I've refused to play the role that I have been playing to survive. So what I'm saying is now when I'm around my family, for example, I'm not playing that role out of survival and out of fear. I'm playing that role out of it's a plan. I'm doing it on purpose now. I'm very conscious of it. So I could easily not do that, but I know what's going to happen if I don't. And that the events that are going to occur if I don't play that role, okay, if I don't basically pretend to play a fool, the consequences of those events that are going to follow, okay, are not worth my energy. They are not worth me pulling back and trying to play small for these people, trying to change these people. They don't want to change, okay, and they never will. That's the sad part. You can't save everyone, okay? And so, as I have become born again in not in the spiritual sense, again, not in the physical sense, obviously, but more in who I am as a man, Jeffrey, okay? Jeffrey has been born again to a point where it scares people. And to a point where I don't really even recognize myself anymore. If you mix everything together that I've been practicing and that I've been doing, it's more of the result is that I have completely realized where I have fallen short, not necessarily in the world, but where I've fallen short with myself. Okay. My goal now is to put myself first because I only have me until I die. Okay. And my dear viewer, you only have you until you die. And if you're a man or a woman, no one is going to care about you as much as you. Okay. People can love you, but they don't like you. Okay. And the other way around, people can like you, but they'll never want to get to know you on a personal level. Okay. Or make a connection with you because they just don't like you. I mean, they don't love you that like that. They don't care about you that way. Okay. So we need to start practicing the action of individuation. Okay. You are not who your parents defined you as. You don't have to play small. Okay. You are not who your friends are, even though you're the average of your 5 friends, right? So the saying goes, that doesn't mean that you actually are the average of your 5 friends. People just make that quote up. I think that philosophy was made up to keep you guilty, to keep you shameful of what you're doing. For example, let's say you have 4 friends that gamble, and you hang out with them a lot. And so someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, dude, you're the average of your friends. You know that, right?" They're basically saying, "Hey, I bet you gamble like they do. Start feeling guilty. You don't want to do that." See my point here, guys? And that gambling is just an example. It could be anything, really. Anything at all. Good or bad. It doesn't have to be gambling, okay? But my point here is that I think that philosophy is made up, was invented because it was made to make people feel guilty and not understand that. Yeah, I mean, I understand your friends can lead you astray, but I think that philosophy was based on, you know, just negativity. Okay, as I said. But to get back to the thing I was talking about in this discussion is that or this message is that we need to start practicing individuation. Okay, our parents, my parents, your parents raised you to play the safe route, to go to college, to find roommates, or find a woman, or find a man to date and maybe settle down and mate with, okay, and have kids and repeat the process. But if you think about it, what's very interesting about this process is that it benefits your parents and it benefits your grandparents. They just want you to continue that family line. They just want you to continue that gene without actually taking into account what you really want to do, who you really are as an individual person. Okay? Their goal is to prolong their family lineage. Okay, that's fair. But all they care about is the safe route. They do not care about you as an individual person with your interests and your goals. I mean, yeah, sure. They'll, I don't know how old you are watching my videos right now. I don't know if you know a guy or a girl watching. I don't know who this message is for, okay? I don't know who this message is for, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, they take care of you. They take you to practice. They do this, they do that. Some of us never got to experience those things, but there's a lot of people out here who do, which is great. And they'll give you those outlets. They'll help you. They'll put you in school. They'll buy you your school clothes, and they'll give you life advice. But it's all to benefit them in the long run because they want you to play it safe like they did. And I discovered many years ago that I'm not built for playing it safe, okay? I'm tired of playing it safe. I'm tired of people telling me what to do. I'm tired of people putting me in a box. And there's actually been people who have I've shared that my point of view with them, all right? Yes, I actually have shared my point of view with people like this. Um, not on the YouTube, but on in real life. And the response that I get is that I'm arrogant, that I'm foolish, and I'm full of myself, and that I'm a young man and I'm going through these, uh, you know, you know, I have no, I don't know what I'm doing, or I have no experience. Well, yeah, they're kind of right. I don't have experience, and I'm learning as I go. But here's the thing about being chosen, my dear viewers, is that you're not supposed to be plugged into this, whatever this is, okay? We know that we're not supposed to be, we have to forge our own path. And so, as I've told people, a few people, okay, not people in my family don't know, but I'm talking about people outside my family, all right? They, it's the same thing. Just like if you tell your family you want to be this or you want to do that with your life, they will shoot you down. Same thing happened to me, except I didn't tell my family. I told some other people. And I was told the same thing is that it's not going to work. Whatever you're looking for, you're going to end up on the street at the end of the day. You are going to be, lots of negative things I've been told before. All right. Um, uh, like I said, I'm foolish. They tell me, you don't know what you're doing. Everyone eventually just has to, work for the man. That's all you can do these days. No, no, like, no, I'm not doing that. All right. I mean, yeah, I have a job, minimum wage job now, but I'm talking about that every day I punch in, the spiritual warfare begins. Okay. If you want to, go watch my previous YouTube videos I've made. Okay. You'll see me before. I usually make these videos before I go to work to help me get balanced, but get aligned. But every time I punch in, I don't know if I can say it on camera, but I don't want to be there. And it's not because of the work, it's because of the people, but also the fact that those hours I'm punching in, I could be making more YouTube videos. I could be helping people. I could be responding to comments. I could be going for a walk, grounding myself in the nature. I could be, I could be resting. Okay. And the society doesn't want you to do that. They want you to work and grind and be a slave because you're not valuable. So you have to prove your value. And if you don't, you're a reject. We don't want you. That's what society says. Okay, guys. And that's so sick because that's the matrix. That's the system. Welcome to the system where everyone's terrible and everyone doesn't, everyone is not in tune with themselves. And I have never come across another chosen person, another chosen one ever. Maybe once in the last 6 years, I came across one person who maybe was chosen. Okay. But I couldn't tell if they were actually walking the talk or if they were that's just their personality. Okay. And they were just like a rebel and they didn't really want to conform and they didn't fit in. But you'll hear a lot of people plugged into this matrix don't fit in, but they end up still being a slave to the matrix because being a slave, trying to fit in with their coworkers and, sucking up to their bosses and taking disrespect, like accepting it, getting walked all over, getting emasculated, it's just, uh, and I'm not here to complain about people. I'm not here to complain about other men or women. Okay, it is what it is. That's why I'm saying if you're chosen, you need to branch off. You need to be an entrepreneur. You need to carve your own path. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do now on YouTube. Now, I haven't found out exactly what I'm going to do with my life as I try and help people and heal people because a lot of people don't want to listen. Okay, guys? People don't listen. They'll think I'm a fool. They'll just laugh at me. They'll try to do humiliation rituals. And I'll end up having to walk away anyway. So it's like I don't really know what to do. And I graduate college is right around the corner, okay, this summer. So it's kind of like yeah, I have an idea of what I'm gonna do. I think I don't want to tell you guys yet, but I think that let's just say that I'm not gonna be in this spot anymore. I'm not gonna be living with my family. But I want to follow my heart, all right? And if you're a man or a woman, there's nothing wrong with trying to follow your heart. And you only have one life. You have yourself until death do you part. I only have self until death do I part. Okay, and I'm just tired of being, even when I'm on SR, even when I have energy, I'm just tired of the put downs. I'm tired of the disapprovals. I'm not here to be approved of, okay, guys, but I'm tired of walking into an environment, walking into a room, walking into with my family and being immediately like just not accepted for who I am. And heck, when I was younger, if I was too much, I've learned to tone that down. So if I walk into a room today, how can I be too much when I've actually learned to not be too much, which is not good, by the way, okay? Because I'm dimming myself down. And if you guys are doing that, you'll know the feeling, okay? And so stop playing it safe, guys. If you want to start a channel, do it today. Do a YouTube channel today. If you want to uh start respecting yourself more, please do it. Start doing it today. If people talk down to you at work, stand up for yourself. Yes, they're gonna push back. Yes, they're gonna hate you for it. But you have to love yourself. Forget about the outcome. Don't look at the outcome, okay, guys? That's what I'm doing. I'm not looking at the outcome. If I get fired from my job, for example, or something happens, or I don't I don't make it to graduation at school or something, that's okay. I'm not looking at the outcome anymore. I'm just going to take one day at a time. Okay? If people disrespect you, tell them very respectfully or politely that you will not tolerate that, and don't look at the outcome. They're going to get upset, but that's part of the process. So don't forget to smash the like button, okay, guys? Subscribe, comment, smash the like button. Please, I appreciate the support of the channel, all right? God bless. Have a great day.